Carlos and Dave Anime Rave. And Dave, we have reached that time again where we are capping off a season of a show.
Yeah, and we're not going to have any more of this particular show until April of 2016.
That's what I've been hearing. It's entirely possible that could change, though. This is Star versus the Forces of Evil. This is, depending on your numbering, this is either episode 24 or 13. Storm the Castle. This is the season finale of season 1. Now, we watched Gravity Falls earlier, which came out the same day. We're recording this the day after the episode came out, and many people said that this episode of Star vs. the Force of Evil was the thing to watch today because Gravity Falls was a bit of a filler. Personally, I thought the Gravity Falls episode, Roadside Attraction, was quite good, and so did you, as I recall.
Mm-hmm.
So Gravity Falls remains strong, and yet Star vs. the Forces of Evil has definitely impressed us with some really good episodes, like the St. Olga's School for Wayward Princesses.
The highlight.
The Benagic incident, where we got to see more a dynamic side to Star and Marco's relationship, which is that maybe they don't really see each other that highly. Maybe they're taking each other for granted. I would say the weakest part of Star vs. the Force of Evil was probably last week's 2 episodes. And even then, like, Interdimensional Field Trip was still really good. It was Marco Grows a Beard that was kind of and we still got important stuff in it, right? Would you agree with this assessment, or am I crazy?
Here's the thing. Marco growing the beard was just so that, Toby!
The sad part is you're close. You're talking about the alligator guy who usurped Ludo, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he has a weird name, and I don't know if this is a real name or not. It's Toffee.
Toffee. That was just that Toffee would have a way to have a little show weakness.
Yeah, that was more of a... That was
take over his group.
That episode was more for Toffee and Ludo, really.
Yeah.
Like...
It reaffirms the fact that, Star can kick some ass.
Yeah, it's
without her wand.
Star needed to be reminded that she's a warrior princess, right? Like
she has been really overusing her magic, and I mean the trip to the museum or what
the interdimensional
field trip, that was more to show us the fact that she's not in as much control as she thinks she is.
Nope, that's true.
That she can't lead by example or otherwise.
Yeah, Star has flaws, and that's one thing I really like about the show. Star and Marco are super dynamic, super flawed characters, and they've been awesome. So, I mean, let's hope that this season finale continues that trend.
Well, it's got to hold us for the next 6 months.
Star vs. the Force of Evil! Episode 24!
Here we go.
For a while, spoilers, offensive content, all that jazz. This really doesn't be a comment on the show. The reason Disney confirmed the second season is because people kept talking about the show on social media and just kept hyping it, so...
Well, good. It's nice to know that the show that you're falling in love with isn't going to get canceled like so many others.
Someone has a crush on a show!
Grow up.
Hey, why did we get a glimpse of Monster Arm just there?
Well, wasn't it more just him thinking something's going to eat his hand? That wasn't Tentacle Arm.
That was Tentacle Arm.
No, it wasn't.
Go back. That was exactly Tentacle Arm.
Yeah.
It was him, exactly.
It was.
Yeah.
It was just precautionary tale.
Precautionary. Something that I have noticed in the show is that I think it's setting up for the fact that Marco is kind of hiding this anger. I think I touched upon this during the Benagic Wand one where we were arguing about it. And I think Marco's, on the inside, he's got some hate. And I think perhaps the arm manifested that and kind of gave it an outlet, and maybe he's worried that it's still there.
Maybe.
Like, if you ever want to see Marco alive again, Oh, wait, I just sounded Irish. Okay, he wasn't Irish. Write that down. The thing is, Ludo's been after my wand ever since I got here. He's never gonna get it. It's like my birthright from like a bajillion generations ago, starting with my great.
You like magic, little girl?
I guess.
Oh, me too. Heck, I used to go to Vegas every weekend, all for magic. The thing about magic is, if you don't use it wisely, you can lose everything. Anywho, not much I can do for you. If he's not back tomorrow, we'll send the bloodhounds for him.
That cop was simultaneously incompetent and somehow prophetic? And yeah, why would they call the Earth Police? Even if, in this world, dimensional travel is commonplace and accepted by the populace, which I theorize that it is, that's not... unless this has been the case for a long time, what the hell are regular police gonna be able to do? It's like in Steven Universe, Earth is clearly very accustomed to weirdness and has been through stuff like Gem Wars and shit. And yet, what the hell would the authorities of Beach City do against, a Gem homeworld invasion other than flee, which is what they did? Also, why didn't they just make a sandwich at home? Like, I promise you, their local deli, family owned, has better sandwiches, and they'd be supporting a local business.
Ambrosia of the gods. There you go.
It did not look like ambrosia. It looked like an earth sandwich.
Tastes like chicken.
Yes, if there was chicken in it, you can do that at your local deli.
You made it.
Supersonic Leap Bomb! Huh? What?
Oh, hey, Buffalo.
They're gonna fucking chainsaw her! Where did they even get a chainsaw? If they always had a chainsaw, why wasn't it used in prior episodes? Unless this is a Toffee initiative, we're gonna use chainsaws now.
We're gonna use technology.
Chainsaws and BFGs. And occasionally plasma rifles and chain guns.
It's all the buzz these days.
Indeed. Okay, I have some questions. First of all, Star blasted Toffee's arm off. And Toffee regenerated it like it's nothing.
Some reptiles can do that.
And now, except his finger for some reason, but whatever. And now, he is being the coolest, evilest motherfucker.
And how scary was she for a moment there?
Oh yeah, no. And this stops them all. And then Kamehameha Blast, and then they could have gotten out of the damn square, but didn't. But whatever. Cube. It's Cube.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Okay, that was the season finale of Season 1 of Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Storm the Castle. Dave, I want to know two things from you. First, what did you think of the season finale? And second, what did you think of Season 1 of Star vs. the Forces of Evil thus far? Also, speculation for the future, your hopes and dreams, a list of your fears, anything you want to really talk about.
Or shut up, big. Talk.
By all means, Dave, go ahead. Don't let anyone stop you. Anytime you're ready, we would like to hear your opinions.
You done?
No. Yeah.
So, Season 1 was pretty good. There were some episodes that were kind of throwaway, but overall the quality was just good. It was fun. It had episodes that were really good. Episodes where they gave the time, so basically St. Olga's and this.
Yeah, the two full-length ones.
Full-length episodes where they gave it time to mature and actually go somewhere rather than a couple of just half episodes. That's not saying that half episodes can't be very well done, Steven Universe.
Yeah, Steven Universe. Steven Universe does with 11 minutes what a lot of other shows can't do in entire runs.
Hour. Yeah, exactly. So I've really enjoyed the first season of Star. This episode, however, as much as I like what they did with a bunch of it, I was disappointed they gave her back the wand so quickly. Even if it is in a broken form or whatever it's going to lead us into season 2, this shouldn't have been treated like a Sailor Moon upgrade. This should have been wand is gone, and maybe episode 2 of season 2 have this scene. It kind of killed the mood that this episode was going for. I mean, she sacrificed her wand for Marco.
Now let Marco go.
She cemented the fact that she thought Marco was more important than her magical heritage going back generations. That was important. And then just twiddled away with horse coming along and going in, unicorn putting on its horn and going into the wand and bringing it back to some sort of operational force. Kind of blew it.
And nodding thoughtfully.
So, missed opportunity? On the other hand, I can kind of see why they did it with everything they alluded to with her parents. So, I don't think they should have done it, but I kind of see where it's coming from. Go ahead.
All right. No, those are good points. I didn't think about the one that way. That part didn't really bother me until you started talking about it. And then I'm like, hey, you know what? That's a good point. However, this season finale disappointed me for different reasons. It was one of the two 22-minute episodes of this season. The other one was St. Olga's Reform School for Wayward Princesses, which personally, to me, was a much better episode than this one. There were some similar beats hit. In that, Star had to face a fear and it involved Marco, but I guess, because Marco's my favorite character in this damn show. That's no secret, I've said it before. And this is Star versus the Force of Evil. Star is the protagonist. This is Star's show, not Marco's. Of course, I have no issue whatsoever with the season finale of this season being predominantly about Star. No problem. However, I was a little bothered by Marco's passivity in this episode. Nothing wrong with how he acted. Every time he was on screen, he acted the way he should. More about that, we had a lot of scenes with Ludo and freaking Boskanovich Russian frog guy.
What's his name, Carlos?
Chad. We had more scenes with Ludo and Chad.
It wasn't Chad.
I know, but...
He had a proper name. Yeah, what is it?
Zangief. And,
Fuck.
There were a lot of scenes with Ludo and Chad being played for laughs, and none of them
mattered.
Hit home. Like, not only did they not matter, they weren't even that funny. It was like, okay, Ludo's a jerk. We've already established this. Can't we cut down their time a bit and go back to Marco playing mind games with Toffee, maybe? Because, okay, Marco was taunting Toffee, but I honestly thought Marco should have been trying to get in Toffee's head a little bit. Trying to figure out why Toffee's doing this and maybe kind of worming his way into Toffee's good graces and maybe Toffee being like, it's not going to work on me, kid. And maybe we learn a bit about Toffee's backstory a bit, because obviously he was wronged by the royal family somehow and knows something about the royal family, as we've established in both this episode and in previous ones. So, to see Marco get so little in this season finale when he has been character number 2 of the show is disappointing. And it was a wasted opportunity to learn a bit more about him and about Toffee. And the show didn't do that. Like, this might seem like a ridiculous comparison, but it's really quite valid. Some of Loki's best scenes in Avengers were when he was in a fucking cell talking to his captors. Those were some of the best scenes in that movie. Partly because the actor who plays Loki, whose name I do not remember whatsoever, is just so good. And the dialogue he had was good, and the way he interacted with each Avenger was so good.
Mm-hmm.
And with Nick Fury, so good. So you can totally do a scene where Marco is mostly just behind a cell, and we can get that dialogue, and we didn't get that. We instead got some Ludo development we didn't need, some Chad development we didn't need. And that didn't mean anything. It didn't matter for shit.
Mm-hmm.
My other big issue is that I like that Toffee, that Star and Marco were kind of pissed off at each other at the beginning. I like that because the show has shown that they've got some issues with each other, and Blood Moon Ball and the Banashik incident and even St. Olga's kind of showed that there are perhaps some unresolved feelings between the two. Star feeling that Marco doesn't take her seriously and maybe is overprotective, and Marco kind of feeling inadequate that he can't be the protector he wants to be. There may or may not also be romantic feelings there that Blood Moon Ball hinted at, but there doesn't need to be for the show to be good, so let's skip over that for now. Even though I wouldn't mind seeing it. I guess I wanted the fight to be that they had. I wanted their argument to be a little worse. I wanted them, like, Star said something kind of mean at the beginning, like, I wonder why we're even friends. And that was supposed to hit hard, but it kind of didn't. It was kind of like, oh, that has a bit of an edge, but not really. I wanted one or the other to say something a little less forgivable, and then to be mad at each other for that reason. So that when they finally reunited at the end and had that very heartfelt hug there above the crater, that it kind of meant a little more. You do have a good point about her just getting the wand back right away. I didn't think about that at the beginning. That wasn't my big issue with the episode, but it's a good point. Maybe they could have left us on a cliffhanger where the wand was, like, maybe the idea was they recovered the pieces of it and they didn't know if they were going to repair it. And maybe in the first or second episode of season 2, that's when they get it. Because, of course, she needs the wand back, right? The unicorn at the end, of course, that was good for a laugh, but at the same time, that's even more time that we could have had back to Toffee and Marco, and we didn't. And that's a shame because Toffee was so cool the 2 times he got to talk. Like, okay, he had more lines than that, but he was so, like that's not gonna work. As Marco's casually about to die, and Toffee's just so collected, that was genuinely frightening to me. And we didn't get enough of that. Like,
can we both agree that he's not dead?
Oh, he is not dead whatsoever. He either escaped, or he's gonna regenerate Wolverine style. Also, while we're speculating, the other half, at least a piece of the wand is there, ready for any evildoer to grab it. Toffee is the most likely candidate, but it could also be Ludo, it could be a new villain, it could be the headmistress of St. Olga's.
I'm hoping... Here's where I see things going. You asked for speculation. We've now seen just how dark her country's history is.
They've hinted at it since the beginning, but you're right. We were getting...
No, but we've seen outright now.
Yeah, we have outright seen
they basically moved in and took out the Indians.
This is true. But we did see it earlier in an episode where they went on a field trip there, and a lot of the country is living in poverty.
Yeah, but you see, that I can just kind of shrug off, because, okay, yeah, colonialism and everything else, yeah, you're going to have a poor group. This sucks. Absolutely. But when they just came out during that celebration of, what was it? Which day? It was a special...
it was Munipendence Day.
Munipendence Day. And it was basically, they moved in and they took out the indigenous people.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they're going down the route of, giving a little equality going here. Maybe the wand breaking like that isn't necessarily a bad thing in the end.
It's like a black and white cookie. but a wand.
Well, maybe it'll actually give the monsters a way to force the Munies to give them back some of their civilization, kind of thing.
I don't know. I wouldn't downplay what they showed at the beginning, near the beginning with the poverty areas, because that wasn't just throwaway. Much like Gravity Falls, much like Steven Universe, they were planting some seeds there. And that was a subtle way to show us shit ain't so good here. Because it got people talking on social media. It got people going, hey guys, Muni's actually kind of a shitty place, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then that was rewarded when we saw that that was actually the case. We had seeds sown, like how princesses are being taught across the dimensions to be rid of their individuality. And St. Olga's, like, Star thought St. Olga's was a scary place. When we actually went there, we realized it was far more frightening than we could have ever imagined. And these themes have been in the show since the beginning. Like, see, I argue, at first, I thought Star vs. the Force of Evil was going to be just kind of fun. And then slowly, it kind of was like, we're on par with Gravity Falls. We're at least worthy of as much consideration on the Disney Network. I was going to say on par with Steven Universe, but no, sorry. Gravity Falls isn't that, although it's pretty good. Steven Universe is just so far above everything else, but still, Star vs. the Force of Evil, to me, it's proven long before this episode that it deserves to hang up here. And even though this episode had elements that disappointed both of us, it definitely excites me, at least, for the future.
I did like Marco saying upgrade.
Yeah.
But that was so a Sailor Moon moment that didn't need to happen. She didn't need... I would have preferred they have the fragments. Or just took out the unicorn, had the wand sink into the dirt, and then, the parents pop up there to save them.
I want to know what the hell they whispered back to her. Was it like, you fucking bitch, you killed me?
No, something tells me it was something tells me that they just started something big. Because she really did sacrifice a friend there. Because that unicorn spirit was alive and had been with her the whole time, and she's had to, recharge it, and she's talked to it before.
It would sort of be like if Thor had to give up Mjolnir. Mjolnir,
exactly.
He looks at it as, through both interpretations of Thor we've seen, both Marvel and Loki Ragnarok, the anime, we know that Thor views Mjolnir as a companion, and if Mjolnir was destroyed or otherwise damaged, Thor would take it pretty personal.
Something tells me, she was crying, and then she kind of wiped her tears away and got a little bit more serious there. It told her something important.
Yeah.
And I think it was more than just, this shit gonna blow. Maybe that's all it was. Maybe it was, the wand's gonna blow up, find shelter. That could have been all it was, but I'm hoping it was more.
I kind of hope Star said it to do that, which is funny. Toffee showed honor by letting Marco go, and Star obviously set a trap and didn't live up to her end of the bargain, and blew him the fuck up.
I think that was part of the plan.
Look, that's the thing. You're right. Toffee looked at it like he knew it was going to happen.
He smiled when it went up. So he's alive, and this is all part of his plan.
I agree.
I'm also disappointed that they didn't just kill off Ludo. Yeah, Ludo. We don't... Unless they are going to do something along the lines of, Avatar with him.
Do not compare Ludo to Zuko, please. Just because their names, they don't even rhyme, but just because they're kind of phonetically similar. I'm just saying, unless they do something of Zuko's level with him, they should have just killed him off and abandoned the character. Yeah, you know what? Ludo can go. Ludo already pissed me off by wasting valuable screen time that could have gone to better things in this episode. Yeah. So, Yeah, maybe, but hang on though. Here's the thing. We both have grievances with this episode, but this doesn't damage the show.
No.
It's disappointing, but at the same time, it's exciting for the future. It's a good setup for what's to come, and it certainly gives there's possibility. There's possibility for Ludo, for a redemption of him as a character, whether it's to turn to the side of good or go back to being an even bigger villain. Like,
if he's gonna go villain though, or go back to being a villain, no, just Toffee. Do something good with Ludo's character, or go home.
Well, we arguably already
go home and take your Ludo with you.
We arguably have enough major villains for a season 2. We have Toffee, who we know is not dead. We have other monsters and any new villain could be made up of the whatever indigenous people were harmed by Mooney, of which Toffee is one. We have the headmistress of St. Olga's, who has a vendetta against Marco right now.
Yep.
We have Marco's monster arm, which may or may not play a role here. And we have various other minor villains that they've taken care of over various episodes, like Lord Helios and the Yarn Monster. So, I mean, there's a rogues gallery here. There's enough of one. So, there's plenty of people gunning for Star and Marco both. There's good setup here. Regardless, though, Star vs. the Force of Evil. If you out of 3 pi, what do you give this show?
No.
You're not going to give it a 3 pi rating for old time's sake?
I'm going to give it 7 wands out of 3 pi.
I'm going to match your rating.
Deal. Is it 7 wands or 7 broken wands?
Doesn't matter.
No.
Well, let's all agree that these wands are way better than Harry Potter's shitty wands.
Agreed.
I don't mean Harry Potter the character, I mean that entire franchise. And by wands, I mean that entire franchise.
Such a dick.
Folks! This has been Star vs. Force of Evil. CarlosandDaveAnimeRave.com is your home on the web if you want to see. I screwed it up. CarlosandDaveAnimeRave.com is your home on the web if you want to watch us watch more things, such as Gravity Falls, such as various animes, as this is the Carlos and Dave Anime Rave, like Kill la Kill, both subbed and dubbed.
Gurren Lagann.
Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
I'm never calling it that.
It's the full title.
Ever.
It's the full title.
Ever.
We've also seen some real trash, like Steins Gate, No Game, No Life. You've seen some other trash, right?
Wow. Many shows.
Oh, Sailor Moon Crystal.
That's not going to work again.
Many shows.
Which is way worse than Star vs. the Forces of Evil.
If you look at our fall 2014 stuff, yeah, there was a lot of shit we cut in there. I mean, some didn't last 5 minutes. Oh no, I think we gave it more than 5, but not 10.
I remember the one that didn't last 5 minutes. I remember the one that didn't last 5 minutes.
Which one was
the
that?
obvious harem one with the in the school. That doesn't narrow it down at all.
No, no, it doesn't.
Shit.
Great, you just described like half of the anime ever.
I want to just shout out why is anime so terrible. But the likes of Darren Nefsey, who makes Star vs. Force of Evil, and Alex Hirsch of Gravity Falls, and Rebecca Sugar of Steven Universe, all love anime and have incorporated arguably the better elements of them into their shows. So maybe I won't shit on anime too much. No, fuck it. Fuck anime. And fuck you, Dave.
Just like any medium, you're going to have your good, your okay, and your real big shit stuff.
I'm gonna narwhal blast you right in the gut.
Sure.
And by narwhals, I mean Uzis.
I mean, look at how much crap is on TV today.
There's a lot of crap.
I actually would have to say that the amount of anime, good to bad ratio, is probably better than regular TV these days.
I would disagree with that. I would say that we tend to, because of our flawless double review system wherein we fight and bicker and argue, we filter out the garbage and we're getting the good stuff because obviously we don't want to watch trash, right? So
I don't know. Watching a trash show every now and then, just to tear it down is actually quite fun.
Yeah, if it's a certain kind of trashy. But if it's a certain other kind of trashy where it thinks it's hot shit, like No Game, No Life or Steins Gate, although we're giving that one up to 12, which is where people say it turns around. If we reach 12 on that and it still blows, I'm out.
Oh, but episode 13
Nope.
is totally where...
Nope. Why are we still talking? We outroed like 5 minutes ago.
It's an extra.
It's a bonus.
We're out.